Let's go with a super artistic background to compensate for this video's lack of art. Hey friends, is it just me, or have you ever come home from a really long day at work and walked into something like this? No? Just me? Awesome. No, but in all seriousness though, this happens more often than I would like to admit. I guess I've sort of been identified as someone who is fairly neat, fairly organized, but there is a secret hidden world that many people don't know about of Slob Melon, who never picks up after herself and has the best intentions to hang up her clothes, but fails good 90% of the time. And it goes in a sort of a cycle that looks something like this. So you've got the mess, and because you've got mess in your room, you can't concentrate, so you become unproductive. And once that happens, of course, your entire to-do list for the day goes out the window and you can't achieve the goals you had for the day or for the week or for the month, or however you've sort of structured your time. And so when you don't realize your goals, you become dissatisfied and you become frustrated, which leads to self-loathing, which leads to extra pressure on yourself to change things, which means that you have to tidy the mess, but that still means that you're behind, and so then you keep self-loathing, and it's just this terrible cycle that you get into. But today I sort of wanted to talk about that. I've been on a bit of a journey over the last couple of months, and I'm trying to transform, or I'm trying to shift my perspective and change my attitude from being one that's very goals-oriented and very achievement-based to one that intentionally tries to enjoy the process a lot more. Now that might seem really vague, and that's because it is really vague, but it dawned on me that I'm only going to be in my 20s once, and you're only going to be the age you are once, and you're only going to be experiencing the life context that you're in right now once in your life. And it only seems worthwhile to enjoy where you're at because life is short. And if you're so goals oriented or so achievement based that you're not actually enjoying the process to get to those achievements, and if those achievements are what are going to bring you happiness and success and satisfaction and contentment, then you're probably not going to be happy. I hate to say that. Maybe you will be happy, I can't make that judgment, but I see it time and time again where people are striving for these goals, and in a way they're really wasting their time because they look back and they think, well, what have I done over the last 4 years that I've really enjoyed? If that's you, then this video is probably quite relevant, and I would encourage you to really take a stock take on everything that's occurring in your life, and to look at the things that you enjoy and the things that you don't, and try and curb as many of the things that you don't enjoy as you can as practically possible. Because yeah, life is short and time is slipping through the fingers as we speak. Speaking of which, I should probably get to the point. Here are my top 4 tips for enjoying your life. Ready, set, go! Number 1. Now my first one is one that takes a lot of practice, and it's not going to come easily at first. And that is to stop yourself whenever you find yourself thinking anxious thoughts about the past or about the future. I just encourage you to try and focus on something in the room around you that you can be grateful for. How does this happen? How have I accumulated so many clothes? I don't need this. I feel so selfish. I feel so selfish for having this many clothes. I don't even wear them. There are so many people out there that don't even have clothes. Oh my goodness. This is actually really confronting. Like, I was not expecting it to be. Wow. It's like I could be giving the money I'm spending on unnecessary clothes to people to buy clothes. And that probably sounds really like self-helpy, but I promise you it actually does make a huge difference. Gratitude is one of these concepts that we kind of throw around, but in a society where people are so cutthroat and so constantly trying to one-up each other and become successful, and where the pace of life is just increasing exponentially, it just really pays off to take a moment, breathe, take a stock take of 3 things. Stock take? I've said that word like 3 times today. Stock take. What does that even mean? Anyway, you just take note. Take note of 3 things around you that you can be thankful for. Like right now, I can be thankful for you guys who are watching. I can be thankful for the camera and lighting setup I have because not everyone has that luxury. And I can be thankful that my hair actually is behaving itself today for like the first time in a week. Perfect timing for a video, right?
Hey, look at the camera. Hello. Hello, baby. He's a good boy. Yes, you are.
Max? He's a bit confused about why everything's moving around. Number 2 is directly from one of my favorite movies, starring Julie Andrews, my favorite actress of all time. It's called Mary Poppins, and the line is, "A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down." That's not the line at all. I remembered it. When there's a job that must be done, in every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. You find the fun and snap, the job's a game. So for me personally, this manifests very well when I'm tidying my space, and I try and treat it as a game or as something that I can enjoy. So I blast my music to full volume, I dance around, I try and do the horrible tasks first so that I just get them over and done with. Like, I hate vacuuming. Vacuuming is one of the worst kind of chores. And you know why it's the worst kind of chore? It's because you can't actually see the effect of it happening. Like, you vacuum your carpet and it looks exactly the same as when you started. You vacuum your floor and not much changes. Whereas, you know, like wiping down the mirror, you can see the effect of that immediately. And it's like, oh my goodness, now I have a beautiful mirror, go me. But yeah, for things like, I guess, dusting and vacuuming, I'm like, if I can't see the mess, why would I tidy it up? But anyway, trying to find the most fun in every activity. Yeah. I guess just like looking at the positives of every activity and in every task that doesn't lead you directly to a goal that you're trying to achieve. FYI, you're gonna hear a lot of singing by me. I would put copyrighted music in my videos, but unfortunately that's not allowed, so you can instead have my terrible harmonizing in the background. You're welcome.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her.
I don't think you can really see that, but like, what is happening? This is terrible. But that's kind of fun. Well, this is getting donated because I don't need this at all. Just to look at the positives and also think of the skills that you're learning in the process. And that leads me to number 3, which is to, really take note of the skills that you're learning in every pursuit that you undertake. Like, for me, it would be awesome if I could upload a video every day, but the quality would be terrible, the content would not be good, and I wouldn't be learning as much about the editing process and the researching process as I currently am. That's something that I try and think about when I'm frustrated or when things are taking longer than I think or anticipated that they would. Just, trying to figure out what you're learning and maximize that as much as you can. Not mine. I feel like I should have studied Marie Kondo's method before I started folding all this. Then I could actually help you guys, but unfortunately, I have not the time nor the patience to fold as beautifully as she does. So we're just gonna make it work with the skills we've got. Dusty. And number 4 is just to flip and stop putting so much pressure on yourself, woman or man. Every person's timeline is different, and comparing yourself to that person's timeline or to this person's timeline or comparing your achievements to theirs is only going to lead to distraction. And this kind of ties back into my first point about being grateful and trying to be present in each moment and not worry about the future or the past. Yeah, so what I'm just trying to say is that every timeline is different. Just because you haven't climbed that corporate ladder or made partner or made the amount of money that you wanted to make or married that person yet or lived in this area or traveled, it's okay. Actually, I saw a really cool post on Facebook. I will put it here. Is that working? Okay, good. Yeah, just because you haven't achieved these things in the timeline that you thought you would have doesn't mean that you're a failure. You're only a failure if you fail to enjoy the process. You're only a failure if the days blur into each other and you're miserable and you don't actually take a stand and figure out what it is that you want and what it is that makes you happy and pursue those things and pursue your passions and pursue your purpose. And so that's a process, and that's something that takes a lot of pruning and a lot of self-reflection, a lot of courage to change. But if you're in that place, I just want to say that I completely empathize, and if you want to leave a comment or message me, feel free to do so and we can go through this together. But yeah, so my 4 top tips of enjoying the process and looking for the good in the small things makes the big things in life so much easier to deal with. So on that vague note, I will see you next week, and I hope you enjoyed the footage of me cleaning my room of all things. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Well, this headphone situation is proving notoriously difficult because if you can't tell, there's a lot of yellow in my room. I love it so much, it makes me happy. But I'm thinking I do need to kind of revamp it and paint it a different colour. Or is this being all frivolous again? I'm literally preaching stop being so connected to your things, Melon. But at the same time, I'm like, ooh, Pinterest, need more stuff. It's the consumeristic trap, guys. Don't be stuck in it.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her.